Most of us have a backwards perspective of love. We believe that love is something that you fall into, or that we love hard, or that we will do anything for love. We will sacrifice ourselves for love. This just sounds like most of the love songs that are out there, right? These codependency anthems, right? I will sacrifice for love. I will do anything for your love. Will you love me back? Right? Like all these type of mantras that we believe in are not true representations of love. They might be infatuation. They might be lust. They definitely are trauma bonding. They are codependency, but they are not love. True love in its classic definition means the desire or the wish of the highest good of the other. Therefore, love has no attachment. Now, you may think to yourself, well, I don't relate to that because I love so hard. I love so hard. And I used to even think the same way. I used to have a song called Love Hard. I used to say, that's why I love so hard. That's why I love so. But then I realized, brother, that ain't no love. Brother, that right there is your dependency. That right there is a belief that you need to sacrifice yourself in order for you to be good enough for the other person's affection. Their consideration in some cases. Just for somebody to consider my existence, man, I got to give myself up. Man, I got to perpetually pour myself out at their altar, right? I got to praise and worship at their feet in order for me to be valid. And the way that I see this playing out in a lot of people's lives, more lives than not at this point in time, which is heartbreaking, to be honest with you, is staying in these relationship dynamics and believing that the harder that relationship is, the more I endure, the more I love. That ain't it. That ain't it. Love is not abuse. Love is not trauma. Love is not sacrificial. True love, in its classical definition, is the greatest and highest desire and wish for that person. Meaning, I could love you from a distance, literally. I wish you the best. I hope the best for you, right? So I don't necessarily prescribe or subscribe to this, holding on to grudges and resentment type stuff, because that's not actual love and it's not going to do anything for me. I don't want to carry that energy for myself, so I won't hold on to that, right? It's not about morality and anything like that. It's just I don't want that type of energy, period. So when I am in this state of love, or a true place of love, I simply wish the best for you and I wish the best for me, and that's it. It's really that simple. It's really that straightforward. So when you think of love, there are things you would do for somebody with that intention, right, that you may not do if you were just being tolerant or considerate, right? So you would wish the best for somebody. You want the best for somebody. And sometimes that means letting that person go. But when you're being tolerant, you will keep that person around but still be hating them in your heart. I tolerate you is what most of us should be saying, right? I am standing you right now. I am partially considering you right now. But to love you is I want the best for you. And sometimes, again, that is literally leaving a relationship dynamic because I know this ain't right. I know we ain't right in this. I know you and I are not supposed to be together, right? Or I know that I'm not in a place where I can even love. I'm not even in that place. And that can be a display of love, to say, I recognize that I'm in a place where I do not have it in me to actually love you. I am not in a place where I have the capacity to love you because I have not yet cultivated that within myself. And that's how that works. There's people who believe that the more somebody fights them and somebody argues with them and is beating on them, the more they love them. Well, it's a perfect display of trauma bonding. Right? That's like Stockholm syndrome. That's what that's about. Falling in love with your captor. And it stems from this belief that abuse is love, or that in order for somebody to love you, they must, hurt you and be willing to do anything to you in order to demonstrate that love. That is probably childish conditioning. That's probably imagery that you saw coming up as a child. And I'm sorry that has to be your starting ground, right? But we really have to evolve out of these places of what love looks like. Or maybe it's not that abrupt. Maybe it's not that in your face, but maybe it's more covert and more subliminal. Maybe it's continual self-sacrifice, right? I neglect myself. I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is go cook for you. As opposed to, I'm finna go meditate. Like, I'm gonna go journal. I'm gonna go handle my things. And then if I feel like cooking, I'm gonna cook. If I feel like doing the things, I'm gonna do that, right? I'm not going to do it necessarily from a place of obligation or needing you to see me as this person who does all these things. Because if that's what we're doing, then we might as well sign a business contract. We might as well sign this negotiation to say, you do this, I do that, and that's how we live. And most of us live with that, just a non-verbal, non-written agreement. When you do these things, I'm going to show you affection. When I do these things, you're going to show me affection. If you don't do these things, I'm going to cut you off from my quote unquote love, which is really your affection, your quote unquote desire, right? Your intimacy, whatever it may look like. You cut that person off from those things because they behave a certain way. It was never love to begin with. I love hard. No, you don't. That ain't love. What is that? Huh? That's trauma. That's trauma bonding. The trauma that was indoctrinated into you or programmed into your own subconscious is now manifesting in your relationship dynamics as an adult. That's what's taking place. When you accept certain behavior in a relationship from another or certain treatment, that is a treatment that you are most used to seeing in a relationship context. And it is a way in which you probably do talk to yourself or view yourself. You view yourself as somebody who's not worthy of a genuine, holistic, unconditional love. And I know that sounds so far-stretched, especially as a human being. You think it is impossible to find somebody who's going to love you for you. That just shows you how deep the conditioning is. But I promise you, once you start to allow yourself, keyword allow yourself, to accept who you actually are, your true identity, the way that God sees you, Source sees you, right? Not the God of the texts of the Bibles and the Torahs and whatever, who is going to smite you and throw you into an everlasting hell. Not that one. That's not the dude I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the divine sky daddy. What I'm talking about is life itself, right? The creator, the essence of life, the fiber of life that holds all things together, that keeps all things in motion continuously and perpetually. That force of nature that is also within you, that literally is you, is holding all things together in love, is always bringing you and compelling you towards your highest good, perpetually and conditionally bringing you to your highest good in order for you to become all you were born to be, all that you're meant to be, to enjoy this life to its fullest, to experience this life in ways that you never could have comprehended. That's what you are here for. You are here on mission, on assignment. And that assignment is to become actualized, to become enlightened, to become all you can be. That doesn't just mean sitting under a tree. It means enjoying life, basking in life, living out your purpose, expressing your gifts for yourself and therefore for the sake of others. That's what life is about. Loving in a true, genuine way where you're in a relationship dynamic that is forever growing as opposed to forever clinging on to itself, choking itself, strangling itself. Instead of living that, you are free to love. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Want to plug in my book real fast. My first published book, Doing Me Guilt-Free. Make sure to get yourselves a copy of this one right here. I promise you it will be a lifetime investment for you. So click the link in the description below and you'll get you a copy. Till then, love you guys. Appreciate you. Namaste. Namaskar.